Hello, friends. Our today's topic is to find out the exact time when you will get a job. So, this is a simple technique. Just by looking at a chart, you will have to find the pair of planets. Once you know what is the fundamental of pair of planets, then within 2 to 3 minutes, you can understand. You will tell your clients or your friend, okay, this is a time where you can get a job. Then just try harder. So, this is a unique method, easy to understand, and then you can give your prediction. So, first of all, we'll have to understand what is job or employment. Generally, job and employment, it's an agreement between job seeker and the employer. And in that agreement, you can see that there are various terms and conditions laid out to do your job. So, if you are happy, then you will sign on that agreement and you will start working for that employer. So, it's generally for job, we need two parties. One is the job seeker and the other one is employer. And suppose if you are a job seeker and applying for a job, then you will get your ascendant. Maybe that ascendant can vary from Aries to Pisces. If you are Aries ascendant, then your employer will get a Libra ascendant. And Libra ascendant. So according to Vedic Jyotish, what you will have to find out the pairs. What is first ascendant, first house lord, and the seventh house lord. So once you understand this concept, then it's easy to predict when you will get a job. What is pair of ascendant or pair of ascendants? Generally, in a Vedic Jyotish, there are 12 houses from Aries to Pisces. So you will see for first house it's Aries, Lord is Mars, and the seventh house is Libra, and the Lord is Venus. Similarly, for the second house, again it's a Taurus ascendant, Venus and Moon. Both are the lords of that Taurus, whereas for the seventh house from Taurus is the Scorpio. Then the and lords are Mars and Ketu. Third house is a Gemini ascendant, and the opposite house from Gemini is the Sagittarius. So Mercury is the lord of Gemini, and the Sagittarius for Sagittarius, Jupiter is the lord. For the Cancer sign, Moon is the lord, and the seventh house has got Capricorn, and the Saturn is the lord of that sign. Fifth house has got Leo. Sun is the lord of Leo, whereas for Aquarius there are two lords, Saturn and Rahu. For Virgo, it's Mercury and uh, Rahu. Both are the lords of Virgo, and Jupiter and Ketu are the lords of Pisces. Now here I have said lords. For Taurus, Venus is the mm, main lord of Taurus, and Moon, it just we can consider it's a co-lord. Similarly, Ketu is a co-lord of Scorpio, and Rahu is a co-lord of Virgo, and finally Ketu is a co-lord of Pisces. So you'll have to remember generally if you have been practicing or if you have if you are just studying astrology for 1 or 2 years, you know lords and those houses. So it's simple to remember. So we'll check the next slide. Timing of getting a job. Hence, to get a job, pairs of above mentioned ascendant lords should have a good yoga between them. Or you can say the pair of those planets should have a good sambandha between them. And the sambandha means we can take the paraspar aspect or the mutual aspect between two planets. Like if the moon is aspecting Saturn or Saturn is aspecting moon, both mutual aspect. Same we can check with the Mercury and Jupiter. If the Jupiter is placed in the Virgo sign and a Mercury is placed uh, in the Pisces sign, then both planets are mutually aspecting. When you can place them in the different houses, if they are still aspecting each other, then that is also one yoga. So you have to find those planets which are in pair. So our first chart is this is the annual chart. And in this annual chart, the ascendant is Capricorn. The Saturn is placed in the second house, whereas the seventh house lord is placed in the 12th house. So, as per our previous slides, in this Rashi chart, we'll have to find pairs. So, you can say that Saturn doesn't aspect uh, seventh house Lord Moon, whereas the second house Lord Saturn is aspecting seventh house Lord, eighth house Lord Sun. So the eighth and second, that's a connection is forming, but Sun is not aspecting back Saturn. And here you can see that Mars is placed in the third house, and Mars is not aspecting any of its pair lord. Here in this Rashi chart, you can see only Rahu. Rahu is aspecting Ketu, and Ketu is aspecting back to Rahu. Now here you can see it's a Parivartana Yoga, but if we consider Rahu and Ketu both are co-lords of Virgo and Pisces, uh, still you can say it's a Parivartana Yoga, but both are aspecting each other. But each other, it's a perfect pair. So, and if you check that Rahu is the second house lord and the Ketu is 11th house lord. So, by looking at this chart, you can say that because of the Rahu's aspect on 11, you can say that means the person earning will be really good during Rahu and Ketu period. Okay. But now we are focusing on the job aspect. So job aspect. So first we'll check the 10th house lord. Here the 10th house lord is Venus, whereas the fifth house lord is also Venus, and Venus is placed in the fourth, aspecting 10th house, and the other planet Mars is also aspecting 10th house lord. So both Mars and Venus has a capacity to give job to this person. But you can't see they are pairing or they are aspecting each other. Only thing is that the Venus is placed in the Mars sign, and Mars is aspecting Libra. That's a Venus sign. But if we check this in the D10, you will find this combination straight away. In D10, Aries is the ascendant, and Mars is placed in the ninth house, and that Mars is aspecting seventh house Lord Venus, which is placed in the third house. And you can see that A10 and A5 both are owned by Venus. So Venus is controlling A10 and A5. So during Mars Mahadasha and Venus Antardasha, this person has got a really good job. So we'll take the next chart. Now here again, this is annual chart. And in this chart, the Rashi chart, the person has got a Scorpio ascendant, and A10 is placed in the Scorpio and A5 placed in the Gemini. Now, in this Rashi chart, if we check the pairs, first, if you check the Aries sign, you will find the Ketu and Venus both are placed together. Now, for this Scorpio ascendant, Ketu is the co-lord, and the seventh house lord Venus is associated with the Ketu. Both are in conjunction. So that one pair we can see there is a one pair. The other thing is that you can see the second house lord, fifth house lord is associated with or with it it's in close conjunction with Jupiter and Mercury. It's not a close conjunction, but both are placed in eighth house in Gemini, Jupiter and Mercury. And that's another pair you will see. Now, so we got four planets in a pair. So based on that, you can see, oh, there is a promise. I mean, either Ketu or Venus, Venus Ketu, or Jupiter, Mercury, Mercury, Jupiter pair, person can get a good. So this person has got a good job in Venus Mahadasha and Ketu Antardasha. Now Venus seventh house lord is placed in the sixth house along with Ketu. Ketu is also first house lord placed in the sixth. Both agenda is to give a job to that person. It's easy. I mean, so rather than just going into all details, calculations, many factors, 10,000 transit and all those, this is the easy way to find out when person can get a job. So quickly we'll go through the chart number 3. This is the Virgo ascendant chart. Mercury, the ascendant lord is placed in the 10th house. That's one excellent positions for Mercury. Whereas the 7th house lord, which is also 4th house lord, is placed in the house. And the Jupiter is aspecting Mercury. So, but in the Rashi chart, Mercury is not aspecting Jupiter. You can see in the D5 chart, uh, D5 chart which has got the Taurus ascendant, Venus is associated with the Jupiter, in Aquarius. So Venus and Jupiter both placed in the Aquarius. So for Taurus ascendant, Jupiter is the eighth house lord and 11th house lord placed in the 10th house. And Venus is the ascendant lord as well. Ascendant lord plus it's the sixth house lord. So you can see that the sixth Venus agenda is to give a job because it's the sixth house lord as well, and it is placed with Jupiter, and Jupiter is having an aspect on Mercury. So you can say that there is a pair. Means Jupiter is aspecting Mercury, but Venus, as Jupiter is associated with Venus, so Venus is covering both Jupiter and Mercury. So you can say that's the indirect sambandha between Jupiter and Mercury. That's why this person has got a job. Even you can see in D3, both Jupiter and Mercury both are placed together in the sixth. So that's why I always suggest people do not completely rely on Rashi chart. You can check other D charts. There's somewhere you will find a good combination, and based on your analysis, you can suggest or you can just advise your friends, customers, and you can uh, predict a good event for your customers. So that's my basic understanding of pairs. So which helped me to predict so many events. So that's why I thought that I would share it here, so people can get benefit from it and they can just try these combinations in the chart, and they can come up with various combinations which can help us to find various events. Thanks a lot.